excited for this wonder of the world.
Sembra quasi che cada a rallentatore l'acqua.
And we're in Brazil. We just visited the Brazilian side of the Cataratas. Honestly, I know a lot of people won't like this, but it was my favorite part.
Si gratta la testa. What a cool campsite.
Yes. Bienvenidos a Paraguay.
We're Luca and Giulia, and this is our adventure. In this episode, we take you to one of the 7 natural wonders of the world, the Iguazu waterfalls. We explored them both from the Argentinian and the Brazilian side, and then we completed triple frontier crossing to Paraguay, an entirely new country for both of us. Come along.
It's raining.
Favero is almost clean, look at him. So there's no electricity in town. Fini and Masari need to wash Willy because Willy is really dirty and they cannot get in. There is no lavadero open because there's no electricity. They need to wash by hand.
Good morning. We are on the Ruta 12, going to
Iguazu.
Yes, we already bought our tickets and the weather seems to be really nice for now. We have 22 more kilometers to go and yeah, excited for this wonder of the world.
The Parque Nacional Iguazu in Argentina is very large and offers visitors a variety of trails and viewpoints to admire the waterfalls. The first thing we did was to take the LPG-powered Eco Train at the central station and ride the roughly 3.5 kilometers to reach the Garganta del Diablo, an 80-meter deep canyon where half of all the water flows. On the way, some butterflies got really interested in my flowery top. Sembra quasi che cada a rallentatore l'acqua. Of course, there were a lot of people visiting. After seeing the Garganta del Diablo, we took the train back to the Cataratas station, where 2 different trails depart, the inferior and the superior one. We started with the inferior circuit, where you can get super scenic views of the falls from below. Afterwards, we walked on the superior circuit, where you get the chance to look at the falls from above. Super interesting perspective.
Here we are, visited the Argentinian side of the Iguazu Falls. It's very hot and humid, but the falls are, well, there's a reason why they're one of the natural wonders of the world. They're incredible. And now we're going to the Brazilian side. It's 3 in the afternoon and we plan to set a campsite in Brazil next to the park on the Brazilian side, and tomorrow we'll visit the park and then rest. Hopefully. Today was pretty tiring because of the heat and the humidity. We walked for a while. We were about 5 hours in the park. It's absolutely worth it, but yeah, very tiring because of the temperature and especially the humidity. But here we are, about to cross into Brazil. Let's see how this border crossing goes. Second border crossing with the Papero since the start of the trip. So Argentinian side done. We're now getting to the Brazilian one, and there is a huge construction site actually. Let's see. And we are in Brazil. Yay! We even got a stamp on our passports.
We had to stop and search for the police.
For
at
the
border.
migration. Yes.
Because there was nobody there.
No, everything very relaxed. The whole thing took us maybe 10 minutes, including Argentina. So there was also no line, not even on the Argentinian side to exit the country, and definitely no line here on the Brazilian side because most cars are not stopping. We're just being extra cautious and wanted to get the stamp on the passport because we plan to go to Ciudad del Este day after tomorrow in Paraguay.
If you're staying in the area, both in Brazil and in Paraguay, you don't need to cancel your temporary import permit from Argentina, and you don't need to get a new one for either Brazil or Paraguay.
So good. Let's go rest.
What a cool campsite. Lì che mangia? La foglia. Si gratta la testa.
Amore, perché non ci sono le scimmie in Europa?
Di altri tipi. Non ho capito. Only around 20% of the waterfalls is in Brazil, and the park on this side is much smaller. Instead of a train, double-decker buses take you to the trail starting point where you immediately see the falls in all their beauty. Oh, finally some fresh air.
A little bit wet. Here we are back at our hostel camping, and we just visited the Brazilian side of the Cataratas. Honestly, I know a lot of people won't like this, but it was my favorite part. You not only get a great panoramic view of the falls, which is the first thing you see when you arrive, but you also get so close to the water that you get completely wet, which actually, to be honest, hadn't happened to us on the Argentinian side. It did help, I have to admit, that most of it was in the shade because it's on the north side, and so you're sort of protected by the stone walls, the rocky walls besides the river, and you see the waterfalls on the other side. So that was quite amazing to see. And considering that the Argentinian side costs basically double the price, I would consider the Brazilian side to be my favorite overall as an experience, value for money. That's my personal opinion, obviously. I am anyways glad that we saw both sides. They were honestly both amazing and beautiful and definitely a spectacle of nature. Overall, a very good experience, but now we're very full of sights and things in our eyes, and so we definitely need some relaxation. So that's why we're here. What is Luca doing? One of your favorite activities.
Yes.
Cleaning the pool. Good morning. It's 7 a.m. We're going to Ciudad del Este, Paraguay. After a lot of researching and debating, we've decided we'll go on foot. We'll leave the Papero in a safe parking that the owner of the camping place recommended, and we'll cross the Puente de la Amistad, the friendship bridge between Brazil and Paraguay, on foot. Let's see how it goes. It's a very rainy day, but we're early, so let's see. Let's hope it goes well. And what are we?
At the border, Brazil to Paraguay. So happy we didn't come with our trucks.
Yeah. All right, we did immigration on the Brazilian side. It was not super straightforward. Actually, you have to go look for them to stamp your passport, and then they do. They stamp you out of the country. And we read that this is something you need to do to get a stamp once you enter Paraguay. And getting a stamp once you enter Paraguay is very important, because otherwise the police, when you come back, will take advantage of you looking like a tourist and try to fine you for having illegally wandered into the country. So yeah, that's first step completed. Let's go to Paraguay. Crossing! Someone is in a hurry. Paraguay! New country!
Number 55.
Number 62 for me. No number for the Papero. And here we are, República del Paraguay. Now we need to get our stamp. Bienvenidos a Paraguay. Here we are. We made it. It was very weird interaction with the officer at the immigration, because he didn't want to stamp our passports.
First he just said no, then we said we read that we need one, otherwise we get checked and fined because we don't have one. Then he said, yeah, how long are you staying? We said only a couple hours. I said, no, you need to have a reservation. We were not leaving and staying there, and after a while he said, okay, come here.
And then he stamped our passports. So yeah, a bit random, but we're here. Let's go shopping. Alto. Okay, we got the things that we wanted, that we needed. And how long did we spend in this place, in this country? Like an hour?
An hour and a half.
An hour and a half. We went into this big shopping mall. Oh, things are indeed very cheap, but it's very annoying. We just don't like this experience. This is the heart of consumerism, literally. But yeah, we're done. We're gonna cross again into Brazil and get some nice coffee.
Get some nice coffee, yes?
We're back in Brazil.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy, super easy border control. This is not the last border crossing of the day. We have one more today. Ah, finally, coffee. Coffee in Brazil. God.
Brix Coffee is a specialty roaster and cafe that recently opened in Foz. The owner Flavio is an amazing entrepreneur, super passionate about this drink. As we sipped the delicious coffee he made for us, we chatted about travel and adventure, And then we left with 2 kilos of his fantastic beans. So happy about this encounter. We're back to Argentina. We crossed the border yesterday. It's been, as all borders so far, super easy. Last night it became really late. It's been a really long day. And after sunset we began searching for a closer spot to spend the night. Really didn't want to drive anymore. And we found this old... what is it?
It's a missione.
A Jesuit monastery. So there is some ruins behind it. There is a part that's been rebuilt. And you can visit, I think, both of them. Last night we arrived at dark and we met the guard. There's 2 guards. One is Silvio and the other one is Marcelo. They allow you to stay here on the parking lot under these beautiful trees and use their toilets, which are super clean, and there's even a shower. And we're driving south to then turn westwards to go to the Salta region. But there's a few pretty things on the way there that we want to see, so where we will stop. We'll show you.
Adios, missione!
quella classe è incredibile.
That's it for this episode. Join us next time as we finally make it to the mountains in the northwestern region of Salta. Get to drive on amazing roads, reach the epic Ruta 40, and taste some delicious wine. Don't forget to like this video if you did, leave your feedback in the comments, and subscribe to the channel to not miss any episode.